Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a thin blue line bun hat. Just like this one. I know this is a red line, but my blue lines are in the car. It's cold. I ain't going to get them. That being said, this bun opening is made with just a chain 24. Okay, in this video, we're going to make an elastic opening using these scrunchies, ponytail holders, whatever you guys call them. I don't know what you call them, but that's what we're going to use today. You're going to need a 5.5 hook, some stitch markers, black yarn, blue yarn, scissors, tapestry needles, the basics. Most important, a cup of coffee. Have to have that. Now, to start out, I already started sort of. Take your black yarn and you tie it to the scrunchie. That's it. You just tie it to it. This is going to be considered your foundation chain. You can either use this or do a chain of 24. Whichever you do, doesn't matter. This is going to be your foundation. Take your yarn, bring it in. Get your chain going. Bring up your loop. And then chain one. What I like to do, because it's black yarn, I take a stitch marker and I put it in my first stitch so I can see it. I'm blind. And before anybody even says it, for those of you that know me out there, yes, I do have a shirt on. Now what you want to do, this counts as your first stitch. Okay, you want to put 23 more single crochets in this loop all the way around, so you have a total of, obviously, 24 single crochets in this loop. And again, this will be your foundation chain. And I'm on stitch 5, 6. I'm not going to sit here and do all 24 chains. I'll meet you back around when I'm done. Okay, now that we have our 24 stitches, you count just to make sure. You have to have 24 or you'll screw this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 stitches. Now, that being said, I'm not going to show you how to do the stitches. If you don't know the basic stitches, you need to learn them first, because I don't like those tutorials that they drag on explaining the stitches. If you don't know the stitches, go learn them first. Alright, now you go back to your first stitch that you put your stitch marker in. If I can get it in there because it's a little tight. You go through both loops and you make a little slip stitch. Alright. Now this is how we make the seamless portion of this. You want to chain 2, 1, 2, and you want to do a double crochet in that same stitch that you just did the chain 2 in. No, it's not. Most of the time this would be considered an increase, but in this case it's not going to be an increase, and I'll explain it in a minute. Man, I'm having a retarded day here. Alright. And then what you do is you take the stitch marker and you put it in that top stitch of that chain 3. Okay, now after you did that first double crochet in that same stitch as your chain 2, you want to put 24 double crochets all the way around. So you want to put a double crochet in each single crochet that you just did. Now I'm not going to do the double crochets all the way around. I'll meet you back around when I get to that. Okay, I'm back around to the beginning. Now, what I like to do before I join my work is count the stitches. Make sure I have 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 24. Now, what you want to do is you're not going to think about that chain 2. Do not even consider that. Don't bring it in your mind because it doesn't exist. You want to join your work with a slip stitch into that top chain 3, the very first double crochet that you did, not chain 3, the double crochet. Join it with a slip stitch. Then you want to chain 2. Go back into the same stitch with a double crochet. And take your stitch marker and put it in that top chain of the double crochet. chain twos don't exist for this project. They're there, but they don't exist. It's hard to explain if you don't understand what I'm talking about. Now what you want to do is you want to make another double crochet, go back into that same stitch, because what you're doing here is you're going to increase and you're going to double all your stitches. You're going to go from 24 stitches to 48 stitches. That's saying you're going to put 2 double crochets in each stitch all the way around for a total of 48 stitches. And again, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to bother you. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to go through every stitch as we go. So I'll meet you back around when I get around. Okay, now we finished row 2. Again, I didn't join. I want to count my stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, and I'm short a stitch. Oh, I didn't put 2 into the last stitch, that's why. I just put 1. That's why you count. Okay, put that last stitch in there. Pull my stitch marker from the top of my first double crochet, not that chain 2, the double crochet. Join it with a slip stitch, just like that. I'm going to just pull it up for a minute, give you an idea of what this is what you should look like right now. That's what it should look like after 2 rows. Okay, put your hook back in there, bring up your loop. Again, chain 2, 1, 2, double crochet into that same stitch. Take your stitch marker, stupid black end, I can't see it. Put it in that top stitch, close it, yada yada yada. Now, for this round, we're going to do another increase, but it's going to be a little different. We have our first double crochet right here. We're going to do another double crochet in the next stitch, not the same stitch, the next stitch for 4 stitches. So we're going to have a total of 5 double crochets in 5 stitches. So we go 1, 2, that's my 3rd double crochet. Go to the next stitch, 4th double crochet, next stitch, 5th double crochet. Now in the 6th stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets in that same stitch. This is where our increase comes in. 1, 2. Now we're going to do 5 more double crochets in the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now the 6th stitch, 2 double crochets in that same stitch. You're going to repeat this pattern all the way around. 5 singles in 5 stitches. The 6th stitch gets 2 double crochets. See you back on the other side. Okay, we finally came around to the other end. Now, you should have 56 stitches. I've already counted them off camera. I know they're there. So what you do is you take out the stitch marker, place it in your mouth, and join your round with a slip stitch. Chain 2, double crochet in that same stitch, and place your stitch marker. Now, that's the end of the increases. We're not going to increase anymore. Every round now is going to be a double crochet in each stitch around for a total of 56 stitches for a total of 12 rounds. Well, let me rephrase that, for a total of 10. The last 2 rounds are the brim, and I'll show you those as we go when we get to it. But for the next, we got 1, 2, 3 stitches, 3 rows already. And if you notice, this is our start point. There is no gaps. It's a solid seam. You don't see any holes, no nothing. Most hats, you'd see a seam. You'd see a little gap from your chain 3, or from your first chain 3. Here you don't, because of that chain 2. That chain 2 that don't exist fills in that gap. So now, again, you want to do a single crochet until you get to round 8. Or actually, you want to end at round 7. You do not want to do 8 rounds in the black. The 8th round is where we switch back to, the blue yarn to make the thin blue line. So continue around double crocheting in each stitch until you have 7 rows. And I'll meet you back here when we get to that point. Now, we're at the end of row 4. Forgot to mention this the last time I chatted with you, but you're going to join each row the exact same way. You're going to slip stitch into that top first double crochet, chain 2, double crochet into that same stitch, then replace your stitch marker. That's how you're going to join your rows each time all the way around until you get to round 7. I'll meet you back at the end of round 7. Okay, now for round 8, to change the colors. Now what I do, what most people don't do, is I cut my black yarn and I take my blue yarn and I tie it to it. Just tie it right to it, and then I make a knot in both. And then what I do is I take my hook through the top first double crochet that I did from the previous round, take my blue, make a slip stitch, then I chain my 2, and then I make my first double crochet in that same stitch, then I put my stitch marker in the top of that first double crochet. Now what I do is I don't like weaving in my ends because I think it looks tacky on all projects, but sometimes it's inevitable, you have to do it. What I do is I take, to make my next double crochet, I go into the next stitch and I make sure to grab those 2 strands of yarn that blue and the black from the attic. And I go into the next stitch and I do this all the way down, about 10 stitches or as long as the strings are from the yarn. You don't have to go too far. 5, 10 stitches is good. It's pretty much the same as weaving it in. And then just continue around this way, a single stitch in every stitch, or a double crochet in every stitch all the way around, again for a total of 56 stitches. And you want to do this for 2 rounds, just like black. You're not varying from anything, it's just the same color, it's just a different color, but the same principle. 1 double crochet each stitch around, and after I do the 2 rounds, I'll meet you back here. Okay, now after we've done our 2 rounds, we're going to change back to the black. But this time, I'm going to show you a little bit more in detail how I actually did change my color. So first, we're going to start by cutting the blue yarn. And we're going to take our black yarn. What I meant by when I tied it together, I didn't mean I actually tied them together. What I did was I took the black yarn, wrapped it around the blue yarn, tied a knot, and then slid the black yarn down the blue yarn until it came up tight on my hook. Then what I did was I removed my stitch marker, stuck my hook into the previous double crochet from the previous round, make sure this is tight down here, grabbed my black, pull it through with my slip stitch, make sure everything's tight. Then I chained my 2, put my double crochet back into that same stitch, grabbed my stitch marker, whatever the heck I did with it, and put it in that top stitch. I hate black, man, I hate black. And then what I did, like I said, is I took the 2 strands, the black and the blue, and then just crocheted them in. I went into the stitch, didn't grab them. I did say I grabbed them, but I don't grab them. I grabbed my draw through color, pulled it through, which held the 2 strands in place, and then double crocheted. And I did that down about 5, 10 stitches. It's kind of like weaving your ends in, but without weaving them in. It just makes it look better, in my opinion. I think when you weave them in with the tapestry needle, it just, I don't know, I don't like it. I try not to do it, but Again, sometimes it's inevitable, you have no choice but to do it. Like at the end of the project, we will have to do it because there's no way to crochet in the ends because you're done. So now we're going to do this for a round. When we're done with this round, we'll come back and I'll meet you again. Now, the end of round 10. We're going to do the brim now. This is a little tricky. I know I said I wasn't going to show you how to do a stitch in this project. Well, in this one, I think I may have to because some of you may not know how to do it. Alright, again, remove your stitch marker, slip stitch into that top stitch of the previous double crochet, pull it through, do your chain 2, your visible link, do your double crochet into that same stitch. Everything always starts like this in this project. And then your stitch marker. Stupid black. Alright, now, what we're going to do here, I'm going to have to probably close up a little bit here so you can see. We're going to do a front post double crochet and a back post double crochet all the way around. Alright, now the first double crochet from the previous row, you come around from the back, pull your yarn through, and do your basic double crochet. That's your front post double crochet. Now to do the back one, you go through the back of the next post. Double crochet, and then again, you alternate. This time we go behind the next double crochet. And then alternating again. This time we go in the back of it. Go through, and then again, front, and back. Just alternating all the way around. And I will meet you when I get to the end. Okay, now we're at the end of the first row of the front post, back post double crochets. I stopped a couple stitches before just to show you this. This stitch I'm doing here is the back post double crochet, and my very last post is a front post crochet. You will always end on the front post double crochet. If you do not end on a front post double crochet, you did something wrong. You either didn't have 56 stitches, or you did 2 front posts in a row, or 2 back posts in a row. You did something wrong, because you should always start with a front post double crochet and end with a front post double crochet. So again, take off the stitch marker, join your row with a slip stitch, chain 2, double crochet, same stitch, and replace the stitch mark. And now this is just a repeat row. You got your first stitch here, which is a front post double crochet. You just go do another front post double crochet right around that first front post double crochet. Then you go to your next one, which is your back post. You do the back post. Then you come back around and do your front post, and you do this all the way around till you have 2 rows of front row and back post double crochets. I'm going to finish this row, and I'll meet you back. Okay, now, possibly the last row. I did all that. I take my stitch marker out. I join my round with a slip stitch. Then what I do, I don't continue. I take my slip stitch and I put it back in there for the time being. Because now what I do, because I look at my hat, this is what your hat should look like now. You'll be done for the most part. Dude, you take your hat off, you put your hat on, and you measure it for the size that you want. I make this hat all the time, so I know this is the right size. If you feel it needs to be bigger, you add another row of front post, back post double crochets. If you think it's where you want it, you take your hook, obviously, grab your yarn. After you slip stitch, you chain 1. Put your stitch marker in there. And you do a round of single crochets all the way around. That's it. Just to give it a nicer, tighter edge. And then once you're done with that, you finish off. And, I'll just come back. I'll do the end of that in do the end of that, and then we'll come back. Okay, here we are at the end. Finally done. I'm going to take my last stitch marker out and join my round with a slip stitch. Okay, then you want to chain one, take your scissors, cut your yarn, just pull it through and just tie it up. Now, what I was talking about earlier with those weaving at the end. Turn your hat inside out and you go to your yarn. See, it's a little nasty looking. What you do is you tug on it a little bit, make it tighter, so it just looks a lot neater. Take your scissors, trim it off, throw it out, keep it for stuffing for another project, whatever you want to do with it. Again, take your blue yarn, you pull it, and it's going to tighten up on you. So what you want to do after you do that, you just kind of like stretch it back, make it look good so it don't look taut. Alright, and then your last two yarns, this one and this one, you have to weave in. It's the whole thing that I don't like, but you got to do it because that's just the way it is. You can't avoid it. And that's your finished project. That's your finished hat. You know, that's it. And you notice all the way around the hat, there is no seam. You have no seam. It's a seamless hat. You do not know, if you did not make this hat, you would not know where you started or you ended, because there is no seam, nothing. And that's the hat. That's all she wrote. Have a good day.